What's going on, everyone? Hope all of you are doing well. So, I tried to film this video yesterday, and when I went back to watch the video before I uploaded the video, I found out that my audio on my mic actually ended up dying like right in the middle of the video. So here I am redoing it. We're going to be taking a look at my Shout Select collection. I don't have a whole lot. I'm not really one to get the entire collection. It's kind of similar to like Scream Factory, where I don't have to necessarily have every title. Yes, there are titles I want from them to add into the collection. Same with the Arrow, but I'm not really one to, add every single thing they release. That's just not my cup of tea because, from time to time there could be a film you just really don't care for. But yeah, I figured we'd take a look and I would, talk about the releases and things like that. Now, first and foremost, I love the fact that, they decided to not only give us the Scream Factory line, but they decided to go ahead and give us a different type of line. And the Shout Select line, kind of focuses on, drama, comedy, action, basically anything that's not horror. That's where it, kind of ties into. But also, under the Scream Factory, they have a few films that are action, sci-fi. So it's kind of interesting how certain titles go under the Shout Select line while others go to, the Scream Factory line. So I wouldn't be surprised if they end up, releasing a lot of greats. Like, for me, I would not be surprised if Porky's and Revenge of the Nerds get a 4K Shout Select release, and I wouldn't be surprised if the sequels get released. Now, I do know that Porky's 2 and Porky's 3 has a Blu-ray, a double feature that was released by Kino, but I think it's been out of print. Who knows if it will ever get a re-release, but there is that possibility. So we're going to go ahead and start with Spine number 4, which is Roadhouse. This is from the late 80s and just a really fun Patrick Swayze film. Patrick Swayze, he has a great amount of films that are worth checking out, and this is definitely one of them. He basically plays a really well-known bouncer who has a really great reputation, and he is hired to help this older gentleman and his, bar. It's pretty much falling apart. He's losing money, so that's where Patrick Swayze comes in and tries to make a change. It's also got Terry Funk and Sam Elliott, and it's just a really fun movie. The women love him. He's got this confidence, and yeah, just definitely worth checking out. But that is their number 4 in their line. Now, a lot of these, I wouldn't say all of them, but there are a lot that have reversible artwork while others don't. So it's cool that they do get the same special treatment that you would get with the Scream Factory, and a lot of times even their transfers, you'll get a 2K scan or even a 4K scan. So it's very nice that they went out the way to just not stick with just horror. Their Scream Factory line, they gave us more. So I'm very, very grateful for that. Next is Spine number 28, and that is Mr. Mom, which I'm going to be honest, don't sleep on Michael Keaton with a lot of his earlier stuff because, a lot of his earlier stuff is really good. There's Jack Frost, there's Multiplicity, there's Mr. Mom, there's One Good Cop. I think My Life, the one with Nicole Kidman where he gets sick and kind of videotapes his life, that's a really good one. And this one's good as well. It's got a really great cast. You have Martin Mull, who sadly passed, and then you have Terry Garr, who also sadly passed, I believe. So yeah, he basically ends up becoming a stay-at-home father, and he befriends, you know, the other women in town, and you know, have poker nights, and his wife ends up working. It's a really fun one, definitely worth checking out if you haven't seen it. Next we have Spine number 44, and that is The Burbs. I remember when, you know, DVDs, you know, were kind of really the only format. Blu-ray and, you know, 4Ks weren't, you know, out at the time. I remember, you know, there was a lot of movies that weren't really common to come by, you know, like The Burbs is one of those, The Shadow, I remember being one, Money Pit. I mean, there's just so many different movies, but you could always find Forrest Gump. You could always find Big and things like that. You know, The Shadow is not a Tom Hanks film, but it's a Alec Baldwin film that I could not come across very often. Same with Street Fighter, the Van Damme film, another title that wasn't, you know, it wasn't often that you would find that. It usually was a lot of other common stuff that they've done, and to finally see The Burbs get that special treatment was really, really awesome. I remember when this was first announced, and I was just really, really excited because you know, I grew up with watching this movie anytime it was on. I remember like TBS and TNT airing this one, and yeah, just having a fun one. Just can't speak. Just having a really good time. It's got a great cast. You got Carrie Fisher. You've got Corey Feldman, and yeah, definitely one that's another one that I think is worth checking out. Next, we have Spine 52, and that is Dragnet. Dragnet, another one that wasn't very common to come by, you know, in the early days, or I wouldn't say early days of DVD, but you know, the early days of, you know, before 4Ks, before Blu-rays were starting to become a thing. I could never find this on DVD. It wasn't common, and then eventually I would. But this movie is a continuation of some sort, like a, excuse me, I wouldn't say continuation, but it's like a continuity to the original film, or not original film, the original series. Man, I can't speak. You know, Dan Aykroyd plays Joe Friday. He is the nephew of his character is the nephew of the main character from the original series. They also have the chief, you know, their boss. It was in the original series, so that was a really nice nod there. And I think the chemistry between Dan Aykroyd and Tom Hanks is fantastic. I really don't understand why they never did anything else. At least from my knowledge, they didn't do anything after this. And I think if they had, I think it would have been really, really good. I wish we would have gotten maybe a Dragnet 2 and 3, only because I think the chemistry worked with them too. And I feel like, you know, that could have expanded into 2 more films. But it didn't happen, but it's got some great, you know, faces that you've seen in other things. Yeah, highly recommend if you haven't seen it to give it a watch. Actually, all of these I recommend. Next, we have Spine 54, The Jerk. This movie could not be made today. There's a lot of like the tone to this is a little messed up. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but you need to check it out. Steve Martin's performance in this is fantastic. He just plays this character who's just not very intelligent and makes a lot of dumb decisions, and you know, the effects that happen with these decisions. And yeah, it's just a really fun one. I feel like Steve Martin, his range of films are really, really good. There are some that, you know, can be a miss, but you know, just he's one of many actors who, you know, given the, you know, the genre, he can do it. I think the only thing I have not seen him in is a horror film. So will he ever be in one? Probably not. And that's okay. You know, not every actor is into that type of stuff. But to see, you know, the wide range of acting that he has is just fantastic. And you know, and, excuse me, and another actor that's similar in that way is Robin Williams. And I don't know why my voice keeps getting raspy. I got some coffee, so And then the last one here is Spy number 116, and that is Explorers. I was very happy to finally, or no, man, I was very happy to see this one come to Blu-ray. I remember when it was announced, it was a automatic purchase for me, which is not very often with Screen Factory or Shell Select. But I had that gut feeling that this was going to sell out and it was going to go out of print. It's just a really fun sci-fi, kids film. I remember like TBS, TNT airing this. I would watch it all the time. It's got a very young Ethan Hawke, a very young River Phoenix way before, he would become the big star, and, tragically his life was cut short. And there's a few other familiar faces. I would like to see more films, that I grew up with, as a kid, get Blu-rays. Oh man, there's a few I would like to see, like Star Kid. If Shell Select can do this, I wouldn't be surprised if they do Star Kid, and I wouldn't be surprised if they did Richie Rich. I think this would be definitely two on my wish list. Now, they did just recently announce Bring It On is getting a 4K release, which is awesome. I cannot wait. But yeah, Explorer is definitely one to have in the collection. I'm don't it doesn't say what exactly the transfer is on this. It's been a while since I've seen this, and with the new TV I have, that I got last year, I know it's gonna look a lot different. So, but yeah, those are my titles under the Shall Select line. There's still more I would like to get. I believe Point Break is part of that. There's Clue. There's Matinee. There's the Police Academy. There's Cool World, I believe, is also under that. There's A Walk to Remember. Excuse me. There are so many I want to get, and like I said, I'm not one to get the entire collection. Just films that either catch my interest or films I've seen and I like, and I'd like to get. Excuse me. So, with that being said, I would love to know what your thoughts are on the Shell Select line. Do you have any in your collection? If you do, what is your favorite out of all of them? And what films would you guys like to see be released under the Shell Select line? What's your Shell Select wish list? I apologize if the videos are just a little all over the place. Trying to get back into the groove of making videos, but also been trying to take a break. We have Christmas right around the corner, so I just really want to just take the time, take a little break, spend time with family, get some things done, as I've stated before. So that's kind of really what I've been doing, and just try to get a video out here and there for you guys. But I want to thank you all for taking the time out, watching my videos, giving them a like, commenting. Definitely share them, watching them, subscribing, whatever it may be. I appreciate it. We're getting close to my goal, and potentially a dream job for me, so that's awesome. Love movies, love talking about them, love watching them. Next year I definitely want to really get the ball rolling on reviews. There's a lot of movies, first time watches I want to check out for next year, so yeah, it's gonna be fun, it's gonna be exciting. On Film Talk with Mikey, till next time guys, we'll talk films. You guys have a good one, take care, and I will see you pretty soon.